So here's an example of how to balance a redox reaction using half reactions if the reaction occurs in acidic conditions. So we covered this on Friday, but I thought it would be smart for us to start with a warm-up lesson or a warm-up example just to get the juices flowing. So I would encourage you to pause the video, give this a try, and then watch me take it up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just separate out these half reactions. And so I'm going to write Mn2 plus reacts to make MnO4 minus. And then I'm going to write BiO3 minus reacts to make Bi3 plus. And so you're going to remember that there are quite a number of steps to do here. The first thing I always like to do is to kind of peruse and see, well, are there any sort of elements besides oxygen and hydrogen that need balancing? And it doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm going to leave that one alone and move on. And so the next thing I need to do is to work out these oxygens. And so if you remember from Friday's lesson, that we need to add as many waters to balance out the oxygen. So since I have 4 oxygens on this side, I'm going to add 4 waters on the reactant side. And so that creates another problem because I've added some hydrogen. So I'm going to balance the hydrogens out by adding hydrogen ions to the opposite side of the reaction. And so hence the name acidic conditions, right? We have that hydrogen ion which contributes to the pH of the solution. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing to the second half reaction by adding 3 waters to the product side, and then that means that I need to add 6 hydrogen ions to the reactant side. Now I'm going to go about balancing my charges. And so my charges in this case, I'm going to add up all the charges on the product and reactant sides and then add enough electrons to balance things out. So over on my reactant side here, I have 4 at neutral and 1 at 2 positive. So overall, I have a 2 positive charge on my reactant side. Now on the product side, I have 1 negative and 8 positive charges, giving me an overall charge of plus 7 here. So I need to bring down this plus 7 charge by adding electrons to bring it down to 2. And so that means that I need to add in 5 electrons into that, right? Because if I say plus 5 electrons, that gives me my positive 2 charge. And I'm going to do the same thing for my second reaction here. Same process. And so I see that I have 6 positives and 1 negative, giving me a charge of plus 5. On the reactant side, over here, I have plus 1 at positive 3 and 3 at neutral, which gives me a overall plus 3. So I'm going to bring down this plus 5 charge by adding 2 electrons, and that will give me plus 3. So plus 2 electrons. All right, so now I see that I have my charges to balance. I've got 5 electrons over here, and I've got 2 electrons over here. The common denominator is 10, which means that I'm going to need to multiply this whole first reaction by 2 and this whole second reaction by 5. Watch me rewrite those 2 equations down below. So I will have 8 waters plus 2 manganese ions plus 30 hydrogen ions plus 5 BiO3 minus plus 10 electrons is going to give me, I'm going to write the rest on the next line here. That's going to give me, let me see, 2 manganate ions, permanganate I should say, plus 16 hydrogen ions, plus 10 electrons, going in addition to 5 bismuth ions and 15 waters. Okay, so there we go. So now what I need to do is cancel out any reactants or product entities. Right, so first off, my charges can cancel. They always need to cancel, and if they don't, then there's a mistake and you need to revisit that. Now I also see that I have 8 waters here and 15 waters here. And so all 8 of these will cancel and 8 of the 15 will cancel, which will give me a total of 7 waters left. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to check these hydroniums. So I've got 16 hydroniums that I can cancel out, and that will leave me with 14 hydroniums on my reactant side. So overall, rewriting this whole thing again, I have 2 manganese ions plus 14 hydronium ions plus 5 BiO3 minus, reacting to make 2 permanganate ions plus 5 bismuth ions plus 7 waters. And there we have it, folks. Hopefully you did okay with that, and hopefully I didn't make a mistake. You can see the process is pretty lengthy and very mistake prone, so take it slow and practice, practice, practice. If you need extra help with this, make sure to come see me.